What's good, everybody? Thank you guys for listening to episode 19 of Tune Check. I'm your host, Chris, and on this episode, we're just going to talk about some news and then, the Grammy nominations came out. So we're just going to dive into that real quick as well. There's a few albums that came out also over the weekend that I want to check out. I still haven't done it yet, but for the next episode, I'll have reviews for them at the end, like I usually do. So, like I said, there's gonna be some news that I want to talk about that happened, within last week and the week before. So the first piece of news is regarding Lil Wayne. So, he had his little Louisiana Fest, I think last weekend, I believe. And it was actually pretty dope seeing how the crowd, loved his energy and enjoyed the performance. He brought out a lot of people. There were some parts where I was like, what are you doing? Like, I don't remember what song he was singing, but he was like thrusting on stage and shit. That shit looked kind of weird. He also spoke about the Super Bowl. He has stated that when he was younger, he would tell himself that he would want to be on the Super Bowl stage one day in front of his mother, and that he worked his ass off to get into the position that he's in right now, and that it was all ripped away from him. But the moment that he shared with his fans, at his festival, nobody could take from him, which I agree, that, whole thing that he had that weekend was just all for him. And, all that love and everything there was all just for him. And I'm happy that he had that moment and that he was out there performing and that a lot of people enjoyed it. But in regards to the Super Bowl, like, it was never really given to him in the first place, like it's not like they told him like last year or they promised him the spot. You know what I'm saying? Like he was never really a choice to begin with. I feel as though like people just took that narrative and just ran with it, like they just made up this narrative that oh, he's supposed to perform and then people just started doing all this other shit with it and just making up stories and making it all about him and stuff. I mean, I get why he wants to perform and I understand, it's his hometown. He wants to rep. It makes sense, but it was never offered to him in the first place. And Jay-Z always usually does pick like the correct people to perform, and he chose correct this time, in regards to Kendrick. I spoke about this like a few episodes ago. Go check that out. It doesn't make any sense to me why he's just so stuck on this like illusion that it was his to begin with. Kendrick Lamar is a great performer. I've seen him on stage before. It's amazing. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he's gonna do for his performance. I'm looking forward to see if he's gonna be able to perform Not Like Us, because there's certain words in that song that he's probably not gonna be able to say on stage. So maybe he could say the hook or something, but I just want to see what he's gonna do with that. But I feel as though he's probably gonna spin that performance and make it about like something that he's been talking about or what he mentioned on his last song that he released on Instagram, Let the Party Die. I don't think he's gonna bring up anything regarding, his beef with Drake since it's been months already. But we're gonna see what happens. The next piece of news is in regards to Plies and Soldier Boy, and Glorilla and Megan Thee Stallion. So basically, he's suing Soldier Boy, Glorilla, and Megan Thee Stallion for allegedly stealing the beats of one of his songs. The song is called "Me and My Goons." It released in 2008. So he's saying that Soldier Boy stole the beats of his song when he released his song Pretty Boy Swag back in 2010. I just want to say Pretty Boy Swag used to be my shit when I was listening to it back in like 2010. That shit was fire. And he's suing Meg and Glorilla for their song Wannabe since it samples Soldier Boy's song in it. And then a few days after, Megan Thee Stallion's producer, Lil Ju, he pretty much was speaking about it and said that the song actually samples My Dougie, which came out before Plow's song Me and My Goons. And the original producer of that song was credited on Wannabe. So, he just wanted to clear that up on the internet on Megan and Glorilla's side. I haven't really heard anything from Soldier Boy yet or heard him say anything yet. We'll see what happens. But Soldier Boy, he's constantly being sued for some shit. Like, it's crazy. First, it was his games. I think his sneakers that he dropped, there's thinking about dropping too. Now it's this. Like, it's crazy. But hopefully, all that gets resolved and shit. So now we're gonna just get into some accomplishments that happened, last week and everything. So the first one being Lil Wayne. He's the first rapper to chart a song on the Billboard Hot 100 for 21 consecutive years. So since 2004, he's had a song on a chart. Now he holds the longest current active streak for any artist. So congrats to Lil Wayne. I think that's dope. Like there's a lot of artists that have longevity and he's definitely one of them. And he's getting better with time too with his music and how he raps. His bars are on point. Like his recent feature with Corday, with one of his recent features was with Corday, and he went off on that song, and that's probably one of my favorite verses of the year. So I'm definitely looking forward to his new album. I think the Carter Six. So Hopefully it comes out next year. Next we got Kanye West. So his Vultures listening experience is now the highest grossing tour by a Western rapper in Asia history. So he generated $11.9 million from 103,000 tickets. You know, like I said on my last episode and the episode before that, he's working on his new album called Bully. So most likely it's probably gonna drop maybe early next year, I think, heading into the new year. But we'll see what happens. I'm hoping to drop soon because I'm excited. And I'm not sure if we're still gonna get like Vultures 3. I thought it was like a trilogy, but no, I guess I was wrong. But I'm definitely excited for anything new that he's gonna bring to the table. Next on the list, we got Tyler the Creator. You know, his album Chromacopia debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, and it sold 300K in sales, you know, with less than a week of tracking. This is his third consecutive number 1. So shout out to Tyler. You know, Chromacopia is fire. My review for it is on my last episode, so go check it out. But if you haven't heard the album, definitely listen to it. It's amazing. Tyler also announced his tour and his tickets went on sale, I believe, last week or a week and a half ago. So if you're interested, you know, go check that out as well. I think I'm gonna have to pop out one of his shows because I definitely want to see him live. I want to hear What's Your Name live so bad, and I hope that's like one of the songs on his set list because that song is fire. And I also want to hear Earthquake and then some songs from Flower Boy too. Chromacopia is also projected to sell 150K units in the second week, and it's expected to still be at its number 1 position. You know, congrats to Tyler, one of the best artists we got right now of this generation. So shout out to him. Next, we got Sexy Red. She just tied with Drake for having 4 number 1 singles in the past year. So the first one is Rich Baby Daddy. The second one is Get It Sexy. Third is What You Know About Me. And then the fourth is Sticky from Tyler the Creator's new album. You know, like I'm not the biggest Sexy Red fan, but her songs are just super catchy. Like even if you don't like the song or like you think it's whack or like she has terrible bars, she's really good with making catchy songs that like stay in your mind and you're always thinking about repeating to yourself randomly even if you don't like it. I find myself doing that all the time. Honestly, like that's great that she's able to do that. Not a lot of people can make a catchy song like that. So shout out to Sexy Red for doing that. You know, I'm not mad at her. She's getting her money, doing her thing. So, and then lastly, we got Travis Scott. He became the second rapper to surpass 10 billion streams in a year. The other rapper to accomplish this is Drake. So shout out to Travis. You know, he's been having a great, you know, couple years recently. I think since like what 2022. You know, with his album Utopia, and then the re-release of Days Before Rodeo this year, which did amazing. So shout out to Travis, and he's working on new music too. So I'm excited to see, you know, what happens there. But that's it for the news. Now we're gonna get into the Grammy nominations. You know, so the nominations came out last week, a few days ago. I'm gonna only talk about the ones that are relevant to R&B and rap. So we're gonna start off with Record of the Year. So the nominees here are the Beatles, Beyonce, Billie Eilish, Chappelle Roan, Charlie XCX. I don't even know how to say her name or his name. I think it's a girl, so I don't even know how to say her name. Kendrick Lamar, Sabrina Carpenter, and Taylor Swift. So Beyonce and Kendrick are on this list. So Beyonce's on this list for Texas Hold'em. Kendrick Lamar's on here for Not Like Us. I know Beyonce dropped and her album was pretty good, but I honestly really believe that Kendrick Lamar should win this because of the fact that it was everywhere and that it blew up. Also because it's the longest charting number 1 of this year and everything. So I genuinely think that Kendrick should win this one. But if they give it to like somebody else like Billie Eilish, you know, I would understand if he loses to like Taylor Swift or Sabrina Carpenter, you know. They were both, you know, names that are hot right now and they've been doing a lot. And I think Sabrina's still on her tour, just ended it, I'm not too sure, but she's been like in the mainstream eye for like a really long time this year. And she's been making headlines everywhere, so I wouldn't be surprised if he lost to them. I'd be okay with that. The Grammys love Kendrick, so I think they'll probably give it to him. But he's been nominated 5 times, so I don't think he's gonna win all 5. Maybe he'll win like 3 or 4, but we'll see. Next, for the category of Album of the Year, we got Andre 3000 for New Blue Sun, Beyonce for Cowboy Carter, Billie Eilish for Hit Me Hard and Soft, Chappelle Roan for The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess, Charlie XCS Brat, Jacob Coiler, Jesse Volume 4. I think it's pronounced Jesse, but it doesn't matter. Sabrina Carpenter, Short and Sweet, Taylor Swift, The Tortured Poets Department. I'm surprised there isn't any like rap albums in this category. I feel like, you know, We Don't Trust You should be there. Schoolboy Q, Blue Lips should be there. Shit, even Future's new recent album, that was fire, should definitely be there. What else? Days Before Rodeo should probably be there too, but Vultures one could possibly be nominated too because I thought that was a fire album. Bryson Tiller dropped an amazing album this year too. Shout out to Bryson. The collab album with Anderson Paak and I forgot the other artist for some reason for right now. The album should be nominated as well. That my album was amazing. I'm surprised Megan Thee Stallion wasn't nominated. So like it's crazy, but I feel like there could have been more albums on this list or different albums. There's like three albums that I didn't really hear about on this list, but anyway, on to the next category. We got Song of the Year. Beyonce for Texas Hold'em, Billie Eilish for Birds of a Feather, Chappelle Roan for Good Luck Babe, Kendrick Lamar for Not Like Us, Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars for Die with a Smile, Sabrina Carpenter for Please Please Please, Shabuzi for a bar song, Taylor Swift with Post Malone for Fortnite. I understand why people want Kendrick Lamar to win this category because of the hype he has. You know, like I said before, I'm cool with him winning Record of the Year. That's fine. But to be honest, Record of the Year and Song of the Year is kind of like the same thing, but whatever. I honestly think Shabuzi should win this one because he's been making headlines and he overall has the longest running number one song, I think, of the year, regardless, like for all categories. So I definitely think Shabuzi should win for sure. And if he doesn't win, that's crazy. I know it's not like rap or R&B or anything, but still, like, you got to give credit when credit is due. And I think he should definitely win that. Next, we got Best New Artist, Benson Boone, Doechii, Chappelle Roan. I don't know how to say this name. I apologize if I, botched it up. Kurangbin. And then we got Ray, then Sabrina Carpenter, Shabuzi, and Teddy Swims. I'm gonna be honest, Doechii needs to win this category because her album was one of the best albums of this year and she went off on it. She delivered, she showed a dope creative side to her. Like it was just amazing. If you haven't checked it out, go listen to it. I have a review for it on one of my previous episodes as well, so check that out. But I honestly believe Doechii should win. If not Doechii, then I could see Sabrina Carpenter winning or Shabuzi. Then they got, producer of the year as well. I see Mustard on here, but I feel like they could have added a few more producers, but it is what it is. After that, there's best R&B performance. So we have Chris Brown for Residuals, Coco Jones for Here We Go, Janae Aiko for Guidance, Mooney Long for Made for Me, the BET version, and then SZA for Saturn. Saturn, that song wasn't all that. I love SZA, I think she's dope. She's a dope artist, but Saturn was not all that. That shit was kind of trash. Janae Aiko Guidance, it was an alright song, but I don't really think it was probably the best. Coco Jones song was pretty fire. She has a really nice voice, but it was only talked about for like 1 or 2 days and then that's it. Chris Brown Residuals, out of all the other songs from his album, from the deluxe album of 1111, this one was the one that got like a lot of traction recently, especially because of how he performed it on his tour. I was seeing it everywhere. People were singing to it. And then Mooney Long's performance was amazing as well. She has a great voice. She's a really, really good performer. I feel like this should go to either Chris Brown or Mooney Long. I'll be okay with whatever or whoever of them to win, but you know how the Grammys are. They're gonna probably choose like the other three that don't really have like that many strong songs or of strong performance. Then the next category is Best Traditional R&B Performance. Kenyon Dixon, Can I Have This Groove? Lala Hathaway featuring Michael McDonald, No Lie, Lucky Day, That's You, Marsha Ambrose, Wet, and then Mooney Long, Make Me Forget. So I feel like this should go to Marsha or Mooney. Lucky Day is pretty dope too, but I'm okay with whoever wins in this category because I feel like they all did a really good performance on these tracks. So I don't really got too much to say about that. I feel like this category is pretty solid. The next category is Best R&B Song. So we got Coco Jones for Here We Go, Kelani for After Hours, Mooney Long for Ruin Me, and then SZA for Saturn, and lastly Thames for Burning. Again, I don't know why Saturn is here. I feel like Saturn is the weakest song. There's other songs that are definitely better than Saturn. I feel like it should go to Kalani. Definitely was everywhere. Like the video, the song, even the sample was fire. And out of all of these songs, that's the one that I heard people talking about listening to the most. Ruin Me was very recent, but I don't think it made traction like that. And then Coco Jones again, like it was spoken about for like 2 3 days. Thames released her album, but I didn't really hear like too many crazy things about it like that. It was great, but it wasn't really spoken about like that to be honest. The next category after that is Best Progressive R&B Album. We got Avery Sunshine, So Glad to Know You, Childish Gambino, Bando Stone, and The New World, Duran Bernard and Route, Kelani Crash, NX Worries Why Lord. I honestly think it should go to Duran Bernard. Duran Bernard did a great job on this album that he dropped. It was one of my favorite ones of the year. If not Duran, then possibly NX Worries. That's the one that I was talking about earlier with Anderson .Paak. The album was fire. And then my third choice would have to be Kalani. The Childish Gambino album, that shit was trash. Like, that shit was a letdown. I don't even want to talk about that shit. Then after that, we got Best R&B Album. Chris Brown for 1111 Deluxe. Lala Hathaway for Havana Black. Lucky Day for Algorithm. Mooney Long for Revenge. And Usher for Coming Home. I'm gonna be honest, it needs to go to Chris Brown. He had the best R&B album this year, even though it's a deluxe. He had the best R&B album this year. I'm gonna say it again. Lucky Day's album Algorithm was fire because it was very like alternative R&B and stuff. A lot of rock elements and shit. It wasn't really talked about too much, to be honest. Mooney Long's album was great, Revenge, but again, it's not as strong as Chris Brown's album. And then Usher's Coming Home album, that album was trash. And then we got Usher's Coming Home album. The album was alright, but it wasn't nothing crazy. Like it was like mixed. I didn't really enjoy the track listing. It was very all over the place. He was trying too hard to satisfy the different kind of fans that he has instead of just making something that feels good to him. But again, I think Chris Brown needs to win this category hands down because he had the best album. It was consistent. The themes was there. I think it's his best album to date. Well, one of his best albums to date. 1111 was everywhere. The title track, then Residuals. Sensational, Press Me. All these other tracks from this album were everywhere. Like he made videos to these albums and everything. So I definitely think he should win Best R&B album. Next, we got Best Rap Performance. So we got Cardi B for Enough, Common and Pete Rock featuring Post Nuos. When the Sun Shines. I don't even know if I said his name right. I'm sorry if I didn't. Doechii for Nissan Altima. Eminem for Houdini. Future, Metro Boomin, and Kendrick Lamar for Like That. Glorilla for Yeah Glow. And then Kendrick Lamar for Not Like Us. So honestly, I feel as though this could go to either Like That or Not Like Us. Regardless, Kendrick is winning for whichever song. There was other rap performances that was better too, but like I said, they're not gonna really include everything. I'm surprised Nicki Minaj ain't get a nomination for anything, considering that she dropped an album as well, and it did better than like a lot of stuff that came out this year too. Even her tour did amazing, but it's crazy, but it's whatever. I feel like it should go to Like That. I'm also surprised that Megan Thee Stallion isn't on this list. I feel like she should have been, which is crazy. Next, we got Best Melodic Rap Performance. Beyonce, Linda Martell, and Shabuzi for Spaghetti. Future, Metro Boomin, and The Weeknd for We Still Don't Trust You. Jordan Aditunji featuring Kalani for Kalani Remix. Lotto for Big Mama. And Rhapsody for featuring Erykah Badu for 3 a.m. I think it should go to Jordan because that song was everywhere. People still listen to it now. People still play it now. It's fucking big. If not, I could see Big Mama getting it. Then Future and Metro Boomin song with The Weeknd. That didn't really get no play anywhere. That shit was mid. I didn't really hear the Spaghetti song all over like that. After that, we got Best Rap Song. Future, Metro Boomin, and Kendrick Lamar for Like That. Glorilla for Yeah Glow. Kendrick Lamar for Not Like Us. Rhapsody and Hit Boy Asteroids. Then we got Kanye West, Ty Dolla $ign, Rich the Kid featuring Playboy Cardi for Carnival. So I feel like this is a tie between Not Like Us and Carnival, but considering all the issues that Kanye had, and all the things that he said and the controversy that he has with him currently, it's probably going to get given to Kendrick Lamar. I'm leaning a little bit more to Carnival because Carnival was a really good song and it was probably one of the best songs of the year. So I think it should go to Carnival. But like I said, people are very biased and the Grammys are biased too. So we'll see what happens. Then there's Best Rap Album. Common and Pete Rock, The Auditorium Volume 1. Doechii, Alligator Bites Never Heal. Eminem, The Death of Slim Shady, Coup de Gras. Future and Metro Boomin, We Don't Trust You. J. Cole Might Delete Later. I feel as though there should have been a few more albums here, like Schoolboy Q's album. 21 Savage's album was fire. Shit, even if Tyler submitted it or was able to submit it, I think he should have been there too. Lil Tecca could have been here. He dropped a fire album. Big Sean dropped a great album. Denzel Curry dropped a great album too. Even Don Toliver. So I'm surprised that the list isn't bigger or, they don't have more artists. All of the people that I feel like should be on here probably didn't submit any songs or any projects of theirs. I get it, but I feel like they should have been nominated or they should have tried at least. To be honest, in my opinion, I think it should go to J. Cole because Might Delete Later is amazing. It's probably the best rap album to me, in my opinion, of this year. I had it on repeat ever since it's dropped, regardless of the diss track being removed or not. I don't give a fuck about that because I wasn't listening to the album for that song. I was listening to this album because it's J. Cole. So I think it should go to J. Cole, but I feel like they're probably gonna give it to Future and Metro. I could see Eminem maybe getting it, but then again, he got snubbed before, so I think it should go to Might Delete Later because We Don't Trust You wasn't really one of the best albums of the year. I liked We Still Don't Trust You better, but considering what that album cost for rap and hip hop and everything, I see why it's there and I see why they could give it to them, but I think J. Cole should win. I think he definitely deserves the win for that. But that was it. Those are all the categories I wanted to talk about. All of these categories, they're just kind of Some of them are. But then some of them I could see like, okay, this is actually a good set of artists. But I'm a little disappointed because I did want more artists to be added on there. I wanted to see more albums from this year, more, other records, other songs, more producers that I think definitely deserve to be on there. I usually don't watch award shows because they're just boring now, but also because they're just not fair. But thank you guys for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. I hope you guys enjoy your week ahead. Share this to all your friends and family, your coworkers, people at the store, aunts, uncles, nieces and nephews, cousins, friends, best friends, ex friends, whatever. I don't give a fuck. Anybody. But, like and subscribe. Follow me on socials. And I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.